Hello there, Colin Baker here, also known as the Sixth Doctor. In Doctor Who, yeah. I coined the name Old Sixy for him, and I like that. So I'm Old Sixy, and it's my very great pleasure to welcome you into the TARDIS. Into the TARDIS. It has been a great pleasure for me to play the Doctor on both television and the stage, and in the wonderfully produced audio drama adventures made by Big Finish Productions and licensed by the BBC, which brings you and me to what this podcast is all about, Doctor Who audio drama from Big Finish. This week, we feature part 3 of the Destination Wars, starring David Bradley as the Doctor, along with Claudia Grant as Susan, Gemma Powell as Barbara, and Jamie Glover as Ian Chesterton. If you missed parts 1 and 2, feel free to listen to those now, but should you be in the mood to jump straight in, here's a recap for you. The Doctor, Susan, Barbara and Ian have landed on the world of Destination, with the Doctor and Barbara discovering that the seemingly ideal world is in fact facing the threat of war from the indigenous population, the Dalmari. The Doctor tries to mediate. Meanwhile, Susan, upon meeting the inventor, has recognised who he is. But before she can say anything, both she and Ian fall under his influence. Despite an escape attempt with Susan being incarcerated, Ian falls further under the influence of hypnosis, whilst the inventor, who knows a lot about the Doctor, is pressing for the location of the TARDIS. Meanwhile, the inventor has given Rima data files to deliver to her mother. But for what purpose? In the tunnels below the city, the Doctor hands a Dalmari translator to Roback, in the hope he can instigate a dialogue between the two sides. He's also recognised the voice of the inventor, who is now addressing the people of Destination. With the TARDIS crew reunited and summoned to the inventor's lab, they learn the truth, that the inventor's lair is in fact a temporal stasis bubble. The inventor, having been manipulating the colony, pushes time forwards to reveal a war that is now being waged. For his part, the Doctor reveals that the inventor is in fact one of his own people, known as the Master. The Doctor and Susan are without the TARDIS and stranded on a world that is divided, with every possibility of nuclear war breaking out. Get out of that one, Doctor. Now, before you and I part ways, there's still time to take a peek behind the scenes with writer Matt Fitton.
It was great to revisit the TARDIS team, the very first TARDIS crew, with the cast from Adventures in Space and Time. To be able to revisit that earliest period of Doctor Who, when it was all about what strange, new and inventive places that the production team could create, and visit strange worlds, dive into Earth history, and do all the things that Doctor Who was invented for in the first place.
How gratifying it is to be finally able to demonstrate my achievements to someone who can truly appreciate them.
Achievements? What precisely do you think you're doing here?
Let me show you.
When we knew we were doing this first story and we would include the Master, I wanted to bring in some sort of time travel element, and the shape the story took on was starting with the crew believing they're in a future version of Earth, kind of something like a modern day utopia with hover cars and clean air and cities, skyscrapers, and then gradually discovering that this is all the work of this great inventor who turns out to be using an entire civilization for his own nefarious purposes.
Also, in my initial pitch, I'd wanted to be very true to that first year of Doctor Who and split the stories cleanly down the middle in doing one sci-fi and one historical, From there, I left it to the writers to come back with ideas, but with the proviso that one of the stories featured the first incarnation of the Master. This was something I was really keen to do. It hadn't been done on telly, but it was nice to actually be a bit retro and go back in there and add that first regeneration of the Master into this first series.
For audio adventures with the Doctor, podcasts, and much more, be sure to visit www.bigfinish.com. And so, will the war to end all wars happen? Or can the Doctor work some mediation magic to bring people to their senses? Find out soon when I invite you back into the TARDIS. You've been listening to Into the TARDIS, hosted by me, Colin Baker, and produced by Ian Meadows. Supervising producer was Lizzie Wursdell, and executive producers are Nicholas Briggs and Jason Haig-Ellery.